Hey, what's up? What's happening, everybody? All right, this is our first video on investing. All right, so we're going to pick out the 5 best stocks to get into in the month of May, strictly looking at the charts. But I will give you some tidbits about the stocks we picked and why we picked them. All right, first stock up on the list, Philip Morris. If you take a look at the charts, here's the weekly chart on Philip Morris, and you can see it has been on a steady incline. We just had another dip here. When the market went down to 145, the stock is back up at 170. Let's go take a look at Philip Morris on the monthly chart over the last 3 years. And while it's pulling up, uh, here we go. Philip Morris over the last 3 years. You see Philip Morris traded in between this range of $90 to $80. And then since last spring, around this time, Philip Morris has been on an incline all the way up. The stock has nearly doubled in the last year, and there's no reason for it to stop. This is what you call a staple stock. This has a strong dividend yield. Uh, Philip Morris has a global footprint, it has a diversified international presence. Its growth is in reduced risk products. The company is shifting towards the smoke-free products like IQOS, which are seeing growing adoption in many countries. And this is more of a defensive play. Tobacco stocks often perform relatively well during market downturns due to steady demand. All right. So the dividend yield was around 5.5%. P/E ratio is 15. And yeah, we don't see any resistance currently right now. So Philip Morris, the number one stock we're looking at in the month of May. The next one is MicroStrategies. Now this is a play on Bitcoin. This is more of a crypto play, but we've seen that Bitcoin has been on a rise. Um, MicroStrategies holds over 190,000 Bitcoins to date. So we see that it got up to a high of 534. Right now it's around 417 or 381.60. Just so if this stock could get back up, and it can pull it back almost $70, $80. But the trend is still in the upcline right now. So let's take a look at it on a weekly. All right, and we see that it just had an important breakout of 335 here on the weekly. It has a squeeze that's forming, and we think we can get right back up to this 500 level. So we're talking about a possibly $100 move in the next couple of months. And if you take a look at it last time, it was in a squeeze. I was in a squeeze for several months. But when it broke out that squeeze, it went from around $200 to about a $600 move. So it's reasonable right now with another squeeze. The MACD is moving to up on the weekly, and we could probably make that move back again. So MicroStrategies is the second stock we're looking at for Bitcoin. The next one is CrowdStrike. All right, so CrowdStrike had a big dip. It was that last year when it had that breach. It fully recovered, and now the stock had a height of 452. It had a recent pullback. It just broke this key resistance level around $400 here, and now we're back up at 430. So it's reasonable that we can probably make it back another $20 move in the month of May. And that right here is either we'll take our profit or we'll see how CrowdStrike pulls back. If it pulls back, we'll have our stop loss. We'll get out with profit. If it breaks through this level, then we'll stay in the play. So CrowdStrike, and you think about it, Philip Morris, CrowdStrike, MicroStrategies, tariffs don't really have a necessary impact. As a matter of fact, the longer the tariffs go, the better that probably Philip Morris and MicroStrategies will do. All right, the next stock we're going to look at is one of the growth plays, and that is SoFi. So SoFi, looking at the weekly chart, it broke all the way back down here to $9 to $8, and now it has started to turn around. SoFi has recently had earnings, and they had awesome earnings. And so let's take a look at this on a monthly real quick. All right, we see SoFi had this pullback here, but it had a high of $18. So today it's around 12.51. That would be almost what, a 60-cent move. If we can get back up to this range here, that's about 60%. Almost 100 would be 24, 25. So if we get back up there to 18, you probably got close to a 60% gain on your money at minimum. So SoFi is definitely one of the ones we're looking at. SoFi has had a very, very, very strong performance lately. It expanded its user base, so SoFi added 800,000 new members in Q1 of 2025, bringing its total membership over 10.9 million, a 34% increase year over year. So the company is growing. It's continuing to get new members. In Q1 of 2025, SoFi recorded adjusted net revenue of $770 million. That's a 33% increase year over year. So the company's been doing very, very well overall, and has been continually growing. And those are the kind of companies you want to get into. The profit sheets look good, and growth. Again, this is another company that's not impacted by tariffs. And then finally, the big dog, and that's gold. All right, nothing has performed better than gold consistently. And gold has really peaked at around 320, 309. So the question here is, has gold run its course? That's hard to tell, but the charts are still good. The chart is still strong. I mean, gold could pull back to 290. It's at 297 today, and it will still be good. 287 would probably be my exit, where I would put a stop at. But let's take a look at gold on a monthly. Look, on a monthly, it can pull back almost to 272, and yet still be in a very, very bullish trend. If things continue to stay this way, we're looking for gold to end this month around in May, back around 320 or maybe up here to 330. And like I said, gold could be on its path to 400. So what are the 5 stocks we are putting money in this month to invest? It's Philip Morris, MicroStrategies, CrowdStrike, SoFi, and gold. All right, hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If so, please like and subscribe, and I'll check you out in the next one. All right, good.